What's up, you guys? It is Ollie, your eccentric nomad. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. I'm back. Today I am going to tell you why I left Costa Rica and give you an update on where's Ollie now. Where am I, you guys? All right, so you guys know that my goal here is to help y'all get past that honeymoon stage of traveling and then how to make it through the fear and the anxiety stages of long travel. That's why I'm here, you guys. Help you guys get off the couch, out the house, in the car, on the bus, on the plane, in the train, in the automobile, whatever it is, so that you can start your own personal journey, you guys. So y'all know I've been on the road for a little bit. Technically July. So July, August, September, October, November, December, January, and we are in February. So I'm on month number 8 of my new journey. Turn the mic on. Did that on last video. Anyway, so I'm on month number 8 and I am on country number. I'm gonna count the US because I left the US and then I had to go back to the US. So Belize, US, Panama, Ecuador, Colombia, Costa Rica, and where I am now, which you'll find out later on in the video. I don't know if you guys knew all those places that I had been to, but I basically ended up doing kind of a Latin America tour, so to speak. And hopefully some of the stuff that I share with you guys helps you along your own personal journey. Let's talk about why I left Costa Rica. Costa Rica, I mean, everybody knows Costa Rica is beautiful. It is one of the most well-known countries in Central America. I think people have been flocking to Costa Rica since the beginning of time. You know, Costa Rica has been one of those places that lots of people talk about. I mean, even at one point in time, y'all might not know this, but I had planned on moving to Costa Rica. That was going to be my home, my halfway home in between the US and another country, years before I decided on Belize. And part of the reason why I hashed that, nixed it, part of the reason is because of the cost, and not much has changed. Costa Rica is kind of nestled in between Panama to the south and Nicaragua and El Salvador to its north side. Right? I visited 5 different cities while I was there this time, and one time back before in 2018 I went to another city. So I've been to 6 places total in Costa Rica. I was in Sarapiqui, I went to San Jose, I ended up in Playa del Coco, and then I ended up visiting a couple of other places too. La Fortuna, finally got to La Fortuna, and Puerto Viejo. So just to give you kind of a quick brief, Sarapiqui is about 2 hours north of San Jose. A little small town, lots of nature, like right in the rainforest area. So very green, plush, but very, very, very small town. San Jose is the city. It's the city life, right? Playa del Coco is one of those coastal beach towns. Everybody seems to know everybody for the most part. You could have some good fun there. It's safe. I mean, I walked around at night. Water is beautiful. I don't know if it's as nice as the Caribbean side. The water on the Caribbean side was just amazing. And then La Fortuna is known for the mountains, for the volcanoes, the hot springs, the waterfalls. And then I also went to Puerto Viejo only for a day. I will definitely go back to Puerto Viejo. And it was beautiful. It's brown. So it's really nice. It's like a different kind of connection, a different kind of vibe. So Costa Rica is beautiful in of itself. I just felt like the accommodations, the cost of food, the lack of access to basic things. And I'm speaking specifically about Playa del Coco, but just in general, you could get a lot of things in San Jose. There's a couple Walmarts there and all of that. So that is fantastic. But if you don't live in the city, if you don't live in San Jose, you know, all of the other cities don't necessarily have all of those things. So why did I go to Costa Rica in the first place? Y'all, I was in Colombia. I literally cut my 90-day visa short to go to Costa Rica. I went to a place called Sarapiqui in Costa Rica to start January 1st of 2023. And that was to do a work exchange. And I stayed there for like 3 weeks. And then I headed inland to San Jose. I had passed through San Jose. I think this is probably like the second, third time. I never hung out there. I never did anything. And most people are like, yeah, you could do 1 day, 2 days in San Jose and you'd be good. And so I was like, all right, let's just see. So part of the reason why I ended up going to San Jose is because in addition to showing you guys different places to go, to do it on a budget, and the pricing was better there. Like you could find better apartment pricing and that kind of thing in San Jose. And I'm gonna tell you guys right out the gate, Costa Rica is not a budget country. And if you're trying to live below a custom budget, you know, you hear people say $2,400, $2,500 a month. And a lot of people actually would like to live a little bit less than that. As a single person, I would like to live less than $2,500. So I actually really like San Jose. Not like this spectacular, just like blaring, you know, New York style metropolitan kind of city, but it's metropolitan for Costa Rica, right? And I found this one little area that I simply love. I'll do a separate video on that, but yeah, I will go back to San Jose. I ended up staying in San Jose almost 3 weeks, I think. Then I decided I wanted to go to the West Coast. I'd never been to Tamarindo before, heard a lot about it, heard about it being a party town and all that. And let me just tell y'all what put a halt on all of the prices were out the wazoo, you guys. Like hostels were $85 a night to sleep in a room with somebody else and not even have your own toilet. I almost wavered because a friend gave me some information on one. And it was really cute. It was kind of off the beaten path. And I was like, for that price, I kind of want to be a little bit more in the mix of thing, kind of get to know people. But anyway, I ended up in a small coastal town on the like northwest side. So it was like an hour, 45 minutes north of Tamarindo. I ended up in a place called Playa del Coco. It's mostly retirees, I would say people from the Americas, from North America. It was literally like being in the States. I literally was spending probably $30 for like coffee and maybe 2 meals. And by 2 meals, I mean like a burger and, you know, maybe a breakfast sandwich or something like that, right? To me, it was expensive, especially in this small coastal town. Very developed. I mean, tons of different apartments and things like that. I'll give you an accommodation cost. So I was spending in 4 days almost $400. And this might be really low for some people, but keep in mind, we're talking long travel. We're talking expecting to be moving around at least a year, you know, possibly longer, you know, to get to your base home, right, of the our home base country. And so this isn't a 4-day weekend. I keep stating that because I think, you know, it gets kind of lost in the translation here, but I can't spend $250 a night. Like, I wish I could, like one day maybe. My goal is to try to stay in countries at least for 2 months. Y'all know I'm on this long slow travel journey. Is this a place where I would consider buying property, buying land? That was the dream. I'm telling you, it was a dream. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up Mac. Anyway, the other thing is transportation, flights, getting from one city to the next. Y'all know I had gotten very pampered with my ability to move around and the cost for moving around in Ecuador. Under $10, under $5 to go from city to city on a bus. One bus could take you from the top of the coast all the way to the end of the coast without hopping on multiple buses. In Costa Rica, for me to go from San Jose to Playa del Coco or Puerto Viejo, well, from San Jose to Puerto Viejo, I think it was like 2 buses you would end up taking, because it would take you to Limon, and then from Limon you go to Puerto Viejo, I believe. So that's like 2 buses that you could take. That's not That's not horribly bad. In order to get from San Jose to Playa del Coco on buses, city buses, it literally was like 4 buses. I didn't find out until like my last 2 nights there in Playa del Coco that there is one direct bus, and it goes 2 times a day, y'all, just FYI. It leaves at 4 in the morning and then at 2 p.m. And that is a direct bus that goes from Playa del Coco to San Jose. So just FYI. And I think it's only like $10. So that would be fantastic. I would do that going forward. What I ended up doing was doing a shuttle, which is like $60. I considered flying from San Jose to Liberia, but then I would still have to take a bus or a taxi inland. It was cheaper to fly out of the country and go somewhere else than it was to fly from San Jose to a coastal city. It's like $160, $170 minimum, and that's without bags. Data, Wi-Fi, that's something I talk about all the time. I felt like it was somewhat annoying. Like each dealer had different options that they would offer you. I ended up finding they actually had like a 30 gig plan, right? So they don't do like unlimited like something you find in Asia. They do packets of, you buy so much data. And what I found is hotels and stuff, it was like 6 megabytes. If you go to coffee shops and stuff, it was much better. But I mean, who's going to be in a coffee shop at 10 o'clock at night working on stuff, or 6 in the morning? These places aren't even open. And so those were like little deterrence things that I'm like, oh, this is kind of nerving for it to be so expensive. And then some of these basic necessities, services that we would need are not really readily available or up to par. And I'm gonna tell you one thing that I did think that was good, that is definitely a win, very appealing, is we get a 90-day visa and we don't have to apply for it. So we can just enter Costa Rica. You do have to have an onward ticket. I came from Colombia. The airline that I flew, which was Avianca, they did require to see my onward ticket. I have a video about how to do an onward ticket or how to use some of the other airline providers to get all your money back, like Expedia. Delta offers it as well. So anyway, check that video out. I'll probably tag it in here so you guys can find it, and it saves you from being denied entry or the ability to go through check-in and get on the plane. Those are some of the reasons why I left Costa Rica. It is a beautiful country. I'm glad I did go and visit, but it is definitely at this point in time not my forever home just yet. Price wise, it just there's so many other places I think I'd rather go and spend that kind of money. So drum roll. Where's Italy, y'all? It's in Southeast Asia. I will just go ahead and tell you guys, I am in Vietnam. Yes, I am. And does that sound weird to you guys? I feel like everybody was just like, how did that happen? What made you go there? Why are you there? Are you okay? If I could do a whole video on the misconceptions of a lot of these places. So I flew from Liberia straight to LAX, sat in the airport, flew directly from LAX to Korea. From Korea, I did a layover and flew directly here to Vietnam. I am in a city called Da Nang. I'm trying to learn how to say some things, so I say Xin Chao. Hello. I know some other ones, y'all, but I forgot them already. Is thank you, something like that. So I'm trying to learn some things, right? But anyway, so I'm here, and a couple little things about Vietnam right out the gate. Yes, we have to apply for a visa, you guys, and we actually have to apply for approval letter before we come, preferably before you buy your tickets, because you could be denied and you will not get your money back. So I did it the opposite way because I thought it was visa on arrival, which you do get your stamp on arrival, but you have to have the letter to present to customs printed out before you actually leave, or at least, have that approval, once you get to the airline. I flew Korea Air. They requested to see my letter of approval. They don't have like an official site, so to speak. Basically, you do some price checking. The visa with the stamping fee is about between $25 and $50. So if you need it expedited, it's gonna be double. Mine cost me $100 because I did it about, 7-8 days before my flight, or before I was supposed to land. And so they only count business days. So FYI, y'all just know that you are gonna have to do that in advance. It's pretty easy. I will be doing my first border run next month. I'm going through the process of what that entails. So of course, y'all know will be a video on that as well, because I have decided that I think I'm gonna stay past this month. I had a lot of things to think about. You guys know that I'm on this quest to find my base home, and before I go back to Thailand, which is like kind of winning above everything, not just with cost, but beauty, amazing people. Even though we hear culturally that a lot of Asian communities, they stick to their own, and aren't as maybe as communicable as like a Latin country. I think I would agree with that, but I think you can kind of infiltrate that a little bit with a fantastic smile. Honestly, kindness. You're some of the kindest people, y'all. It makes you really question what we get to experience in the US, which isn't always a good thing, right? We'll have a whole video on that another time, right? Beautiful country. So there's like 3 places in Vietnam, three main cities. So Da Nang, which is where I am, Hanoi, I'm just gonna say that's what it is, and then Ho Chi Minh City. People go to a whole bunch of different places outside of like Hoi An, Dalat, I think is another one. And so I want an opportunity to possibly explore all of those as well. But this gives me an opportunity to check another country here in Asia, compare it to Thailand. It's like Thailand right now is still winning. But I do like it here. I like it. I like the people. The coast on this side, it's not it's not super pretty, but it's and I think maybe that's climate wise. It's kind of rainy season right now, I think, or at least it seems like it's like supposed to rain every day. But it's beautiful, it's warm, and it's not super hot, so I'm assuming it gets hotter. The prices can be really good. Like I know I can find an apartment technically if I stay and look around, do some legwork like I have been doing. I can find places for $250 to $300 a month, full places, and typically you pay your own utilities from there. But I can also find $400, $500 places on Airbnb. Like if I just want to go through that and have like the security of it being on a platform that is US based, I can do that and still find a place, and then all my utilities are covered, right? So there are so many different ways to do that and like get in that price point that I really like. This country as a whole has a ton of different things. So for example, you'll find caves here. They have that golden bridge that has that hand thing is here. Paragliding and skydiving you can find here. Tons of nature, amazing food options. Y'all, they got tons of vegan options. I'm in heaven in this joint. Transportation is cheap. They also have Grab, which is their ride share, just like Uber, but so much cheaper, like dollar rides. Real cultural stuff in the 3 cities that I mentioned. Water activities galore because we're on the coast as well. They got the city life, nightlife. You can walk up and down the street. I mean, there's a little bit of everything. And I also hear that they've got cruises if you go up further north to Hanoi area. I think it's Ho Long. I may be saying that wrong, but there's some cruises and things, so you could do something like that if you want. So there's lots of different options here, and I'm gonna stay so that I can explore it a little bit more and really just get a feel for Vietnam and what Vietnam has to offer before I jump to the Philippines possibly, or Malaysia or Cambodia, maybe even Laos, and some of these other places that are sprinkled out around here, Taiwan possibly. So this is going to at least start my next minimum 2-month journey. Like, stay tuned for a couple things that I'm going to be rolling out next, which is Santa Marta versus Cartagena, what I wish I knew before I went to Santa Marta. how do I pick the next place I'm gonna go, and what determines if I stay in a city or a country for a month, 2 months, 6 months, so on and so forth. These are questions that you guys have asked me over time, so check back for those. And then also, guys, check my shorts and my IG, where to next _Ali for IG. And you know, just to see some of my daily vlogs, little snippets of me walking around the city. I'm going to start posting things there as well, just to show you a little bit of the town. Okay. And then up and coming, I was a guest on 2 really amazing friends podcasts. One is Soul Kitchen with Joy, and that you guys subscribe to her podcast. She's on Anchor, I know for certain, so please check that out. And then look on IG, you'll find her on IG under Soul Kitchen. And then the other one is the Water Bearer podcast. I did a podcast with my good friend Carlos. He rolls out a new podcast every Thursday, so check it out. I think like 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, so check that out. And I think our conversation will air on March 2nd. So anyway, but check out what he has going on. So support if you guys get a chance. It takes nothing but a click. And then while you're at it, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this channel with your friends and family, and click that notification bell too, so you guys get notified when I post a new video, y'all. I promise I'm gonna stay back this time. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank y'all for tuning in and allowing me to kind of fill in the gaps of what I've been doing, where I am. Hopefully enjoyed this. Y'all know the drill.